Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like you're not good enough? Like there's something missing, something that makes others shine, but not you? I know that feeling. I've been there too. Confidence is not something that suddenly appears one day. It is something that is shaped and built over time. Nobody comes into this world already knowing how to speak in front of a crowd, how to believe in themselves, or how to handle fear without hesitation. Just like learning how to walk, confidence develops step by step. In the beginning, it feels shaky. You may fall, make mistakes, or doubt yourself. But with each small effort, with each experience, your confidence begins to grow stronger. Think about when a child learns to walk. The child doesn't stand up and run perfectly on the first try. There are falls, tears, and moments of frustration. But the child keeps trying, keeps taking small steps, and slowly walking becomes natural. Confidence works the same way. At first, it feels unfamiliar. You question yourself, you hesitate to speak, you overthink your actions. But when you keep showing up and keep trying, your mind learns to trust you, and your heart learns to stand tall. Many people believe that some individuals are naturally confident, as if they were born with a special gift. But in reality, confident people are those who have practiced, who have faced their fears, and who have learned from their failures. They have built their confidence through effort and patience. Every time they chose to speak even when they were nervous, every time they stood up again after being rejected or laughed at, they were building the foundation of their confidence. It was not magic. It was persistence. Confidence also grows through self-awareness. When you start understanding your strengths and weaknesses, you begin to trust yourself more. You stop pretending to be someone else, and you focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This self-awareness helps you make decisions, handle criticism, and move forward with clarity. Building confidence is not about becoming someone different. It is about realizing the strength that already exists within you and learning how to use it. Another important part of building confidence is embracing failure as a part of growth. Many people lose their confidence because they treat mistakes as proof that they are not good enough. But mistakes are not signs of weakness, they are lessons. Each failure teaches you something about your abilities, your limits, and your resilience. The more you face these moments, the more your confidence grows. You start to see that setbacks are temporary and that you have the power to improve. Taking consistent action is one of the strongest ways to build confidence. You cannot just think your way into becoming confident. You have to act, speak up in meetings, even if your voice shakes. Try something new even if you are unsure of the outcome. Challenge yourself to do small, uncomfortable things regularly. These actions send a message to your mind that you are capable, that you can trust yourself in different situations. Over time, this builds a strong foundation of belief. Surrounding yourself with supportive people also plays a role. When you are around people who encourage growth instead of judgment, it becomes easier to take risks and step out of your comfort zone. Their positive energy can push you to try again when you feel like giving up. However, it is equally important to remember that your confidence should not depend entirely on them. Their support can give you strength, but the real work happens inside you. Patience is essential. Building confidence takes time. There will be days when you feel strong and days when you feel uncertain. Both are part of the journey. Confidence is built through experiences, through facing fear, through understanding yourself, and through taking action again. It is a process that continues throughout life, growing with every new challenge and every small victory. Accepting yourself fully means recognizing who you truly are, without pretending, without hiding, and without constantly comparing yourself to others. It's about looking at your reflection and seeing both your strengths and your flaws, and understanding that both are part of what makes you unique. Many people spend their lives trying to be like someone else, chasing perfection that doesn't exist. They try to hide their weaknesses, overthink their mistakes, and feel uncomfortable with their true selves. Real confidence starts when you stop fighting who you are and start embracing yourself completely. When you accept yourself, you create a foundation of inner peace. You stop wasting energy on trying to prove your worth to everyone else. Instead, you begin to focus on your own journey. You understand that your personality, your abilities, and even your imperfections have a place in this world. You realize that you don't have to be perfect to be valuable. You don't have to meet unrealistic standards to deserve respect. Accepting yourself doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop rejecting yourself while you grow. Many people confuse acceptance with settling. They think accepting themselves means giving up on improvement. But in reality, self-acceptance is the starting point of true growth. When you accept your flaws, you stop fearing them. You start working on them with kindness rather than shame. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," you say, "This is where I am now, and I can get better." That simple shift in mindset changes how you treat yourself. You stop being your harshest critic and start becoming your strongest supporter. Strengths are easier to accept because they make us feel proud. But true acceptance also includes the parts of ourselves we often try to hide: insecurities, fears, mistakes, and weaknesses. These are not signs of failure. They are proof that you are human. When you accept these parts, you take away their power to control you. They no longer become reasons to hold yourself back. Instead, they become areas where you can grow with patience and self-respect. Accepting yourself also involves letting go of constant comparison. When you measure your worth against others, you will always find someone who seems smarter, more talented, or more confident. This endless race steals your joy and damages your self-image. Everyone has their own path, their own timing, and their own struggles that may not be visible. By accepting yourself, you choose to focus on your journey instead of trying to match someone else's. You stop copying their steps and start walking confidently in your own. Self-acceptance changes the way you handle criticism. When you truly accept yourself, people's negative opinions don't break you. You listen, you take what is useful, and you let go of what isn't. You no longer need everyone's approval to feel worthy. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback, but it means you don't let it define your value. You stand firm in knowing who you are, even if others don't understand you. Another important part of accepting yourself is embracing your story, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Your past experiences, challenges, and choices have shaped you into who you are today. Instead of being ashamed of your journey, you learn to see its strength. Your struggles have taught you lessons, your failures have built resilience, and your victories have shown your potential. Each part of your story deserves to be acknowledged, not erased. Accepting yourself also helps you build healthier relationships. When you are at peace with yourself, you stop seeking validation from others in unhealthy ways. You don't rely on their approval to feel whole. Instead, you bring honesty and authenticity into your connections. You allow others to see the real you without fear of rejection. This honesty attracts genuine respect and deeper bonds. Self-acceptance requires patience and honesty. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, and it's not about ignoring your flaws. It's about facing them with courage and treating yourself with the same kindness you offer to the people you love. It's about recognizing that you are a work in progress and that being yourself is more powerful than trying to be a copy of someone else. When you accept yourself fully, You free yourself from the weight of pretending and open the door to real growth and lasting confidence. Believing in your worth is the foundation of genuine confidence. It means recognizing that you have value simply because you exist, not because of achievements, titles, or the approval of others. Many people spend their lives trying to prove their worth through their actions, thinking that if they do enough, become successful enough, or please everyone around them, they will finally feel deserving. But true confidence doesn't grow from constant proving. It grows from accepting your inner value and allowing it to shine. When you believe in your worth, you stop treating yourself like someone who must earn the right to be seen, heard, or respected. Believing in your worth starts with acknowledging that you matter. Your thoughts, feelings, dreams, and voice have significance. You don't need permission to express yourself or to take up space in the world. Many hold themselves back because they think others are more deserving or more important. They shrink their presence, avoid opportunities, and stay silent to avoid being judged. This quiet self-doubt slowly weakens confidence over time. When you truly believe in your worth, you no longer hide behind fear. You step forward with calm assurance, not because you think you are better than others, but because you understand that you are equal to them. Your worth doesn't depend on your past mistakes or failure. Everyone has moments they regret, decisions they wish they could change, or times when they felt lost. These experiences shape you, but they don't define your value. When you keep punishing yourself for the past, you stop yourself from growing. Believing in your worth means forgiving yourself, learning from those moments, and moving forward with strength. It allows you to see yourself as a whole person, not just the sum of your missteps. Another important part of believing in your worth is not letting external validation control you. Compliments, awards, or achievements may feel good, but they should not be the foundation of how you see yourself. These things can come and go, and if your confidence depends on them, it will rise and fall with every success and failure. When you build your confidence on the belief that you are valuable regardless of external results, you develop emotional stability. You can enjoy success without becoming dependent on it, and face challenges without losing faith in yourself. Shining your light means allowing your abilities, your voice, and your personality to be seen without hesitation. It doesn't mean you have to be loud or constantly in the spotlight. It simply means not hiding the real you. Many people dim their light because they fear judgment, jealousy, or rejection. They think it's safer to stay small, but hiding your potential does not protect you. It only keeps you from growing. When you allow your light to shine, you inspire others to do the same. You show that self-belief is not arrogance, but a quiet strength that encourages growth. Believing in your worth also means setting boundaries. When you know your value, you don't allow others to treat you in ways that make you feel less. You learn to say no when necessary, to walk away from situations that hurt your peace, and to stand firm in your principles. This isn't about being rude or distant. It's about respecting yourself. Boundaries protect your confidence from being slowly eroded by negative influence. Sometimes believing in your worth requires unlearning old messages. Many grow up hearing words that make them doubt themselves, whether from family, society, or personal experiences. These messages can stay in the mind and shape how you see yourself as an adult. Challenging those old beliefs is a vital step. It involves replacing them with kinder, truer thoughts about who you are. This process may take time, but each small shift strengthens your self-belief and changes how you carry yourself. When you believe in your worth, you also become more comfortable with both your strengths and your weaknesses. You don't feel the need to hide your flaws or exaggerate your abilities. You embrace your authentic self, knowing that your value doesn't disappear because of imperfection. This balanced view of yourself allows your confidence to grow steadily. It gives you the courage to pursue opportunities, speak up, and live without constantly seeking proof of your value. Building confidence is not about making one big change overnight. It's about taking consistent small steps that slowly strengthen your inner self. Many people wait for the perfect moment to feel ready, but confidence grows through action, not waiting. Every small step you take is like laying a brick in the foundation of your self-belief. Over time, these small actions build a strong and steady structure. You don't have to give a big speech on day one or make bold moves immediately. You can start with the simplest actions that slowly train your mind to trust yourself. One of the most powerful small steps is learning to hold your posture with intention. Standing tall, keeping your shoulders back, and lifting your head might seem like a minor change, but it sends a strong signal to your brain and to others. Your body language affects how you feel inside. When you physically carry yourself with strength, your mind begins to follow. Over time, this simple habit can create a deep sense of confidence that feels natural rather than forced. Another small step is making eye contact when you speak to people. Many avoid it because of nervousness, but learning to look someone in the eye for even a few seconds at a time can change the way you communicate. It shows that you believe in what you are saying and that you respect yourself. It also helps you build a connection with the person in front of you. At first it may feel uncomfortable, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Each conversation becomes a little step toward stronger confidence. Practicing how you speak is also a key part of building confidence through small steps. This doesn't mean memorizing lines or pretending to be someone else. It means allowing yourself to express your thoughts clearly and without rushing. You can start by practicing in front of a mirror, talking to yourself, or even recording your voice to get comfortable with how you sound. Gradually, this helps you feel less self-conscious and more in control of your words. Even small daily conversations can be opportunities to practice expressing yourself confidently. Celebrating small achievements is another important step. Many people overlook their little wins because they think only big achievements matter. But when you take the time to acknowledge even the smallest progress, you train your brain to see your own growth. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, answering a question in class, or trying something new, each of these actions deserves recognition. Celebrating these moments reminds you that confidence is being built piece by piece, and that your effort is valuable. Small steps also include facing your fears in manageable ways. If public speaking scares you, start by speaking to one person, then a small group, and build from there. If trying new things makes you nervous, begin with low-pressure situations. This gradual exposure helps your mind adjust without overwhelming you. Each time you step slightly outside your comfort zone expands a little more. Eventually, things that once felt intimidating become familiar. Positive self-talk is another daily habit that plays a huge role in building confidence. The way you speak to yourself matters. Replace harsh, critical thoughts with words of encouragement. When you catch yourself saying, "I can't," shift it to "I will try." This doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means choosing to support yourself rather than tear yourself down. Over time, this shift in internal dialogue makes you emotionally stronger and more willing to take small risks. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also help you take these steps more easily. When you are around individuals who encourage your growth rather than discourage it, it becomes easier to push yourself a little further each day. Their positive energy can give you the courage to keep going when you feel unsure. But even with support, the responsibility to take action always lies with you. No one can build your confidence for you. They can only walk beside you as you build it. The beauty of taking small steps is that they create lasting confidence. Quick bursts of motivation may fade, but steady habits stay. With each small action, you send a message to yourself that you are capable. These actions slowly reshape how you see yourself and how you face the world. Bit by bit, you stop doubting as much and start trusting yourself more. Confidence grows through this daily commitment to showing up, no matter how small the step may seem. Confidence is often misunderstood as arrogance, but they are two very different things. Arrogance is loud, demanding, and focused on proving superiority. Confidence is quiet, steady, and built on inner strength. When someone is truly confident, they don't feel the need to constantly prove their worth to others. Their presence is felt not through force, but through calmness and grace. Confidence allows a person to walk into a room without shouting for attention, because their energy speaks louder than their words. It's about being sure of who you are without needing to put anyone else down. Grace and confidence means carrying yourself with respect and dignity. It shows in the way you speak, the way you treat others, and the way you handle situations. A confident person doesn't interrupt others to make themselves heard. They listen with interest and speak with clarity. They don't belittle others to feel powerful. They lift others up because they are secure in their own identity. This kind of behavior creates an atmosphere of trust and respect around them. People naturally feel drawn to someone who exudes grace rather than arrogance. True confidence doesn't come from boasting or showing off achievements. It comes from self-awareness and inner belief. When you know your abilities, your limits, and your worth, you don't need to exaggerate or seek constant praise. You can talk about your successes without trying to make others feel small. You can accept compliments without feeling the urge to prove more. Graceful confidence allows you to stand strong without standing on anyone else. It's about walking with your head high and your heart humble. A key difference between arrogance and confidence is how each reacts to mistakes. An arrogant person often refuses to admit when they are wrong, because their image matters more than growth. A confident person, on the other hand, can acknowledge their errors without feeling like their value has decreased. They understand that making mistakes doesn't make them weak. It shows their willingness to learn. This humble acceptance adds to their grace because it shows strength in vulnerability. Graceful confidence also means having control over your emotions, especially in difficult situations. When you face criticism, challenges, or disrespect, arrogance pushes you to react with anger or defensiveness. Confidence allows you to respond with patience and maturity. You don't let other people's negativity dictate your behavior. Instead of trying to overpower them, you maintain your dignity. This calm reaction often earns more respect than any aggressive defense would. It shows that your confidence is rooted deep, not shaken by every external opinion. Another powerful part of graceful confidence is empathy. Truly confident people are not afraid to show kindness. They understand that helping others doesn't reduce their value. They are secure enough to appreciate someone else's success without feeling threatened. They celebrate others because they don't see life as a competition for validation. Their grace creates a positive environment where people feel safe to be themselves. This kind of confidence inspires others rather than intimidating them. Grace also shows in how you carry yourself in moments of success. Some people become arrogant when they achieve something, treating others as less important. But real confidence keeps you grounded. It reminds you that success is not only about personal achievement, but also about how you treat people along the way. A graceful person remains respectful, humble, and kind, even when they are in a position of power. This humility doesn't make them weaker. It makes their confidence shine even brighter. When you have confidence with grace, you stop seeking unnecessary attention. You don't need to speak the loudest to be heard. Your presence, actions, and attitude naturally gain respect. People trust those who are consistent, respectful, and genuine. This kind of confidence doesn't fade when praise disappears. Because it's not built on external approval, it's built on self-respect and emotional balance. Grace gives confidence a softness that attracts rather than pushes away. making it powerful in a quiet and lasting way. Life is full of moments when doubt enters your mind and setbacks shake your confidence. These moments can make you question your abilities, your worth, and even your dreams. It is easy to feel strong when everything is going smoothly, but true confidence is tested in the times when things go wrong. Rising after doubt and setback is not about pretending that everything is fine. It is about acknowledging the struggle and still choosing to move forward. Every person, no matter how successful, has faced moments of failure and uncertainty. The difference between those who grow and those who give up lies in how they respond to those moments. Doubt often whispers in your mind when you are about to do something meaningful. It tells you that you are not ready, not capable, or not good enough. This inner voice can feel powerful because it plays on your fears. But doubt is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you are stepping into something important. Instead of letting it stop you, you can learn to see it as a natural part of growth. The presence of doubt doesn't mean you lack confidence. It means you are human. Confidence is built when you act even while feeling uncertain. Setbacks, on the other hand, are those moments when things don't go the way you plan. It could be failing an exam, losing a job, facing rejection, or watching a dream fall apart. In those moments, it is natural to feel disappointed and even broken. But setbacks are not the end of the story. They are like chapters that test your strength and shape your character. Every setback holds a lesson, even if it is painful to see at first. When you rise after a setback, you don't just return to where you were. You return stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Rising again requires emotional strength and patience. It is not about ignoring your pain, but about processing it and then standing up again. Sometimes this means taking a short break to breathe, to reflect, or to heal. Sometimes it means asking for help, because rising doesn't have to be a lonely act. What matters is the decision not to stay down. Even if your steps are small, moving forward keeps your confidence alive. Each time you rise, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. One of the most powerful parts of overcoming doubt and setbacks is that it builds inner trust. When you go through difficult times and still manage to stand again, you start to believe in your ability to handle future challenges. This trust becomes a quiet strength inside you. You no longer fear difficulties in the same way, because you have experienced what it means to rise. This is how confidence deepens, not by avoiding struggles, but by surviving them and learning from them. Rising after setbacks also teaches you humility and self-awareness. You learn that success is not always a straight path and that failure is not a permanent label. You start to view mistakes differently. Instead of seeing them as proof of weakness, you see them as stepping stones. This mindset allows you to take risks without being paralyzed by the fear of falling. You know that even if you fall, you have the strength to get back up again. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can make this process easier. Encouraging words, supportive friends, or inspiring stories can remind you that setbacks happen to everyone and that rising again is possible. However, the real power lies within you. No one else can make the decision to rise. That choice is always yours. When you choose to stand again, even with fear in your heart, you build a kind of confidence that no praise or external success can give you. It's also important to understand that rising doesn't always mean making a big comeback. Sometimes it's as simple as taking one small step forward, making one new plan, or choosing not to give up for one more day. These quiet victories matter just as much as the big ones. They show that your strength isn't defined by how loudly you win, but by how bravely you continue. Each rise, no matter how small, adds a new layer to your confidence and resilience. Many people spend a large part of their lives waiting for someone else to give them permission to feel worthy. They wait for compliments, for recognition, for someone to say, "You are good enough." This constant need for approval becomes like an invisible chain, holding them back from reaching their true potential. When you depend too much on what others think of you, your confidence becomes fragile. A single negative comment can shake you, and a lack of attention can make you doubt yourself. Real confidence begins when you stop waiting for others to approve of you and start valuing your own opinion about yourself. Seeking approval often starts at a young age. We are taught to please parents, teachers, and society. We hear phrases like "good job" and "feel happy," and when we don't hear them, we feel like we failed. Slowly, our self-worth becomes tied to external reactions. As we grow older, this habit continues in different forms. We want our friends to agree with us, our colleagues to admire us, and strangers to like us. Social media has made this even stronger. Likes, comments, and followers often decide how people feel about themselves. But the truth is, no amount of outside approval can fill the space that is meant to be filled by self-belief. When you stop waiting for others to approve of you, you start to take ownership of your life. You begin to make choices based on what truly matters to you, not based on what will impress others. You stop living your life like a performance and start living it with authenticity. This shift gives you freedom. You no longer feel trapped in the pressure to meet everyone's expectations. You learn to trust your own judgment, even when people don't agree with you. This doesn't mean you become arrogant or stop listening to advice. It means you stop depending on others to define your value. The truth is, people's opinions are always changing. Someone might praise you today and criticize you tomorrow. If your confidence is built on their words, it will keep rising and falling like a wave. Depending on others for validation is like building your house on sand. It will not stand strong when the storm comes. But when you build your confidence on self-acceptance and inner strength, other people's opinions stop having the power to control your emotions. You can listen to them, learn from them if needed, and still remain firm in your identity. Another problem with waiting for approval is that it can lead to people-pleasing. You might start saying yes when you want to say no. You might change your personality, your choices, and even your dreams just to be liked. Over time, this creates inner frustration because you are living a life shaped by others, not by yourself. When you stop chasing approval, you begin to set healthy boundaries. You start respecting your own time, your own needs, and your own value. This builds quiet but powerful confidence because you are standing up for yourself. Stopping the search for approval also teaches you how to handle criticism better. When you no longer depend on others for your sense of worth, negative comments lose their sharpness. You can see them as opinions, not truths. You don't break down just because someone doesn't agree with you. This emotional stability allows you to take feedback with maturity, without losing your self-respect. You learn to separate your identity from other people's views. This change doesn't happen overnight. The habit of seeking approval is deeply rooted, but with time, you can train yourself to give importance to your inner voice. Every time you feel the urge to look for external validation, remind yourself that your opinion matters the most in your own life. Your self-image should not be shaped by the temporary thoughts of others. It should be shaped by your values, your beliefs, and your experiences. When you stop waiting for others to approve of you, you also give yourself the power to grow in your own way. You take risks without worrying too much about what people will think. You express your ideas more freely. You allow yourself to shine without waiting for permission. This inner freedom makes you stronger, more focused, and more authentic. It allows your confidence to grow from within, instead of being borrowed from the outside. When your confidence depends on how others see you or on the outcome of every situation, it becomes unstable and fragile. Opinions change, circumstances shift, and failures are part of life. If your sense of worth rises and falls with these changes, you will always feel like you're walking on unsteady ground. Real confidence comes from understanding that other people's opinions and your failures do not define who you are. They may influence you for a moment, but they do not have the power to decide your value unless you give it to them. People's opinions are shaped by their own experiences, beliefs, and insecurities. Sometimes they reflect their own fears rather than the truth about you. Someone might criticize you not because you lack something, but because they see the world differently, or because they are projecting their doubts onto you. If you let every comment, judgment, or passing remark shape your self-image, you will lose sight of your true self. Learning to listen selectively is important. You can take feedback that helps you grow, but you must also know how to let go of opinions that do not serve you. Not every voice deserves a place in your mind. Failures can also make you question your worth if you let them define you. Many people treat failure as a final statement about their abilities, when in reality it is just a moment in the journey. Failing an exam, losing a job, being rejected, or making a wrong decision does not mean you are a failure as a person. It means you faced a situation that didn't go as planned. Everyone faces such moments, even the most successful people. The difference is that they don't let these failures decide their identity. They see them as events, not labels. They learn from them, adjust, and keep moving. Separating your identity from your failures is a powerful step toward strong confidence. Instead of saying I am a failure, shift the perspective to this didn't work out, but I can learn. That simple change protects your self-worth from collapsing every time something goes wrong. It allows you to see challenges more clearly and respond with resilience. This mindset helps you grow because you stop taking everything as a reflection of your value and start seeing it as part of the learning process. When you stop letting opinions and failures define you, you gain emotional freedom. You no longer live in constant fear of what people will think or what might happen if things don't go perfectly. This doesn't mean you become careless or ignore feedback. It means you become grounded in your own identity. You know who you are, and that knowledge becomes your anchor. Praise doesn't make you lose control, and criticism doesn't break you. Success doesn't make you arrogant, and failure doesn't make you worthless. You develop a balanced sense of self that doesn't swing wildly with every external event. It's natural to care about how others see you, to some extent, and it's healthy to reflect on your actions. But when that concern becomes your main source of confidence, it turns into a trap. You start shaping your behavior to please everyone, trying to avoid criticism at all costs. This leads to exhaustion and often frustration because it's impossible to satisfy everyone. When your confidence comes from within, other people's views become information, not command. You can consider them without losing yourself in them. Failures also become easier to handle when they don't define you. Instead of feeling ashamed or giving up, you treat them as part of your growth. You take responsibility where needed, learn what you can, and move forward. This approach builds resilience, and resilience strengthens confidence. Each time you rise after a failure, your belief in yourself grows because you see that your worth didn't disappear with one mistake. Learning to hold your ground against opinions and failures takes time and practice. It involves trusting your own values and judgment. It means knowing that your identity is not up for debate every time someone comments or every time something goes wrong. You can listen, reflect, and improve but you don't hand over the power to define yourself. Your confidence becomes stable not because everything around you is perfect, but because you have stopped giving temporary voices and temporary moments the authority to shape your sense of self.